Hi, everybody. I'm Michael Angelo Caruso. This is the Get the Word Out Rotary featurette for this week. I'm with Tom Gump. I think you're in Minnesota right now, yeah?
Yes, I am. You betcha.
You are a terrific person. I was so pleased to meet you recently at I guess it was a multi-district pets, North Central, right?
Yes, that's correct.
And you are a rising superstar. Everyone loves you. They love your energy, your talent, your ambition. You come up with these crazy ideas and you run with them, and we need more people like you.
Thank you.
So we're going to talk today about a live campaign that you are working on. And along the way, you're going to ask questions and I'm going to try to answer them. We're going to do some screen sharing. And I promise, if you're watching this video, that we're going to teach you some pretty cool stuff about running your own campaigns, how to get people's attention and how to get them to do what you want them to do. Sound good, Tom?
That sounds great, Michael. Thank you for your time.
My pleasure. Tell us about the campaign that you're working on. Everybody's going to smile when you say this because it's a pretty big deal.
We're very excited about the 2020 Aloha Convention. That's a Rotary International Convention that runs from June 6th through June 10th, 2020. And obviously it's in Honolulu, Hawaii, USA. It's going to be a great time and we want to promote it and make sure that we get a lot of people to register for it.
Yeah, I was at the Hamburg convention along with 27,000 other people. And there's something that people need to know about this Hawaii convention. We always say that every presentation has a call to action. Your call to action in this program is to register for Honolulu and do it right away. Tell us why that's important, Tom, relative to the numbers.
Absolutely, Michael. Honolulu is a little bit different venue because it doesn't have a lot of hotel rooms compared to somewhere like Hamburg or Korea or Atlanta. So there could be a cap on registration that may be 24,000. Nothing's official yet, but we want to make sure that all our fellow Rotarians register in time so they don't miss out.
You bet. Plus, don't forget, it's going to be on an island. So if you get too many people like on the side of the island will tip over into the sea.
That's good to know. I did not know that.
All right, let's talk, man. You got a great idea here. You're going to use endorsements from various Rotarians, shout outs, a very informal campaign to try to, I think it's a nice step away from the traditional, what sometimes can be viewed as staid or, I don't know, one-way messaging kind of a thing. Because the idea of these endorsements is to get you to laugh or amuse you or pull you in ways that these rather staid campaigns do not. Is that the general idea?
That is a general idea. We're using actually real Rotarians who are interested in going to this particular convention. And the reasons they're going are many and varied.
Yeah.
They're not all the same, but it's very interesting. And we use comedy in some, we use seriousness in others.
Yeah.
Sometimes we have parents with their children to show it's a family-oriented event.
Okay, cool. And I love the idea. Where'd you get it?
I started doing it last year for Hamburg, and I just asked people why they're going to Hamburg. And they came up with reasons like, well, you know, in Toronto, actually, they had one where someone had done their wedding anniversary there, and they got married there. So people have different reasons. And it just seems a more authentic way to pitch because they're real people going for real reasons. You find out why.
It is authentic and organic, and therefore it's more believable. And since it's more believable, you're going to get a different kind of uptick from the people watching it than the other campaigns that we mentioned. This is not to speak badly of anybody or anything. We just find that if you can fine tune the marketing mix, that you're a lot more likely to get the results that you want. So let's get started. So you've got some of these testimonials in the can, as they say in the music business, yeah?
Yes, we have 18 that are done, and they have been edited to have a slide in the front and a slide in the back that puts the location, the date, and the registration page.
Okay. And now the question on the table is how to get those testimonials out, stage them in a way that's going to get you the most attention, collect the most views, and ultimately a CTR, this is called click-through rate,
Okay.
which will get you a CTA which is the call to action.
Just FYI.
Yeah, FYI. Okay. So, I was going to ask you one other thing about this. Oh, so I've seen a couple of the testimonials. I've not seen all of them. And you're going to pledge to me that everything we're pushing out is professional grade, if not in quality, at least in intent, because we never want to push out crappy stuff. And I know you pretty well. I'm just kind of playing with you a little bit here, but I know a lot of people are going to be watching this video. Ladies and gentlemen, we never push out crappy content, because then everything else falls apart. You'll never get CTR. You'll never get a call to action executed. And of course, attendance will suck at your events. So I know you know this, Tom, but it bears mentioning. We still see some not shady, but shabby content. And we want to do away with all of it, because that doesn't reflect who we truly are as an organization. I don't think anybody wants to use shabby content anyway. Okay, good. So I'm going to share my screen. We're going to talk about Facebook for just a second. So this is Facebook and your Facebook page. And you had mentioned that you'd already shared something to Facebook. And then I kind of went to look for it. I won't trouble you with that now. I know you're a great Rotarian. There's a lot of Rotary stuff on here. Wow. It's like almost like you don't have a normal life.
This is a big part of my life.
I'm sure that's a comfort to your family. I always tell people, a few pictures of your kids probably make you more human. But everybody can decide what they want to put on their Facebook page. I'm sure you have photos of your family and stuff.
Yes, I do.
What I do notice is that it's a fairly private page. You only have 152 friends on Facebook. You have many more in real life.
Those are our mutual friends, actually.
Not a lot going on here. We don't really know who you are. Clearly, you're Rotarian. You're a good-looking man. But you can see where I'm going with this already, is that one of the things people take in when they're going to click right here in this area to watch your video is they want to know who this guy is first. So almost at the same time they're mousing over, they're looking over here to see, who is this guy? Because it's called intro. That's where you find out. So you might put, I'm incoming governor.
Okay.
You might put what you do for a living.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody has their own comfort level on sharing, but it's just an idea. Also, this number right here, this 152, needs to be a lot bigger if you're going to make a splash in the pool. Now, I know that one of your goals is to have other people post the videos. Yes?
Yes, that's correct.
I mean, for sure, you're going to have the 18 people who did the testimonials post.
Mm-hmm.
So we want to try to get to people who have, here's the language I use on Facebook, which is hitch your wagon to people with bigger wagons.
Okay.
So do you happen to know the largest number of friends that you can have on a personal Facebook page?
5,000, I believe.
That's exactly right. So you want to talk to people who are Facebook kings and queens.
Okay.
Because that's going to rack up your numbers a lot sooner. They're in the 4,000, 4,500 area. It doesn't mean that people with 3,000 friends can't be useful.
Mm-hmm.
But if you really want to get this out and you're not paying for your messaging, you might as well get it to people who have tons and tons of Facebook friends.
Okay.
The same, by the way, is true for LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube.
Okay.
I mentioned YouTube because this is a video medium that you're pursuing, and YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world, second only to Google. And so those numbers may have shifted in the last little while here, but you'd rather have your YouTube on your video on YouTube than Facebook, all things considered. But we've got a targeted audience, and that means by leveraging Rotarian Facebook pages will be that much more to the good. So your idea is pretty close to where we need to be, but we need to be working with people with bigger numbers. I happen to have something like 4,500 on my personal page. I am one of your guys. I already told you that.
Right.
So I will be helping to push it out.
Thank you.
But keep in mind that a lot of the 4,500 friends that I have, they're not Rotarians. They're not really going to be interested. They may join Rotary now that we're going to go to Honolulu for our convention.
Right.
But they're not interested right out of the box because they're not a member of our great organization. Okay, now, next step. We're going to hitch our wagon to people with bigger wagons, which means we're going to get to people with 3,000, 4,000 friends on Facebook. We're going to find a way to get them the videos. Do you have a way to do that?
Yes. The first 17 that have been edited and approved, they're on a YouTube channel. So I'm just trying to find out the best way to distribute those. There's only been 2 distributed so far. The Sunday before last, I posted the first one on my personal Facebook page. Then this morning, I got access to our district webpage and my club webpage. But talking to you, I know I need to go bigger. I just don't know how to do that.
Yeah, most district Facebook pages have about 1,000, 1,400.
Right.
And like we said, individual peoples often have more. The problem is the mix changes, the less Rotarians, but a bigger number. So it's not bad to go after districts, but I would look at districts, zones.
Okay.
Some clubs have 1,000 members, right? And
right.
What we do normally is we try to get a lot of people from that area. Like the conference in Hamburg, they were really shopping Germany very carefully. And I think over 5,000 Germans showed up.
Wow.
That's the highest attendance we've had in a long time. But that's how it works geographically. So using that to move forward, you try to get everybody in the islands, the Hawaiian Islands, to go because they're so close to. But now you're really fine-tuning the system.
And Asia, too. They should have a big
That's
draw.
right. That's right. That's right. Good. So is it okay if I scroll down into your feed to find those, just so we can show everybody the testimonial?
That'd be great. Thank you. There's one right there.
All right. This is one of them?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we're not going to worry about the sound on this one. We'll let everybody enjoy it on their own. But you're right so far. So I'm just looking. This is an international campaign, and you've seen, and I know you know this, but I want to point it out because a lot of people don't understand that if a tree falls in the forest and no one is there to hear it, it doesn't make a sound. So everybody goes through the trouble of making a quality video, but then they don't have a way to actually get eyeballs on it. This is extremely important. So don't focus on the 18 people or the 20 people that are going to share it, but focus on like total number of views, because these are all metrics that like advertising companies use. For example, it's not a silly question to ask a professional, how many impressions, that's what they call it in advertising, did we need to get 27,000 people to go to Hamburg? Can you guess at the number?
Wow.
You don't have to be right.
I would guess 2 million, maybe.
Okay, so let's say you're right, because I don't want to argue with the number. I don't even know what it is, but it's huge. So if you had to get 2 million impressions, that's internet impressions, video, Facebook shares, all these things, everything. If you have to get 2 million to get 27,000 people to come out, then you have to get a little bit less than 2 million to get 23,000 people to come out, all things being equal. And if you're looking to get it done by, say, December 15th, and what's that magic date about again?
There is a possibility that the rooms might fill up and we may have to close registration just because there's not enough rooms.
Okay. Or maybe you have a goal of getting everybody registered for any reason by a certain date, right? Why wait till the last minute? And by the way, if you're doing event management for districts, those of you watching, if you're doing an event management for your district conference or a fundraiser or some sort of a festival that you're doing, you want to get all of those impressions registered as early as possible. But how would you know when you're done? Most people are done when the date finally occurs. No, man, you're done when you have that number of impressions, because if you've got your marketing campaign locked in, that would indicate in advance that the event is sold out. So I work with both. I would promote right till it's sold out. But why not target 2 million impressions if that's what it takes? And then you could start to see where they're going to go. Now, I realize this is a complicated campaign. There's a lot of people working on it. RI's pushing out. Brad Howard, who's also deeply involved with promotions, he's going to be pushing things out. But how many impressions are you responsible for? Do we know the answer to that question?
I do not.
No, but commit to something, you know, and aim big. Why not? So let's say we're going to try to get, and again, I'm just making this up. If you only have 192 Facebook friends, we are leveraging other people. But let's say we're going to try to get, I don't know, 5,000 impressions of these specific videos on Facebook from this part of the campaign. You see how that changes your thinking about everything?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Then you start thinking, well, maybe I'll post one of these videos every Monday. Or we'll have a certain number of people post them every Monday. And you could start looking to see how these numbers are racking up. Now, what I'm suggesting to you is not terribly scientific because the numbers are going to be coming in from all different kinds of places, but at least you have a better idea now about exactly what's happening. If you don't have something like this in place, the only way you know what's happening is to check how many registrations there are. But these numbers that we're talking about are leading indicators. Same thing with these, Tom. 13
Mm-hmm.
comments, 3
Mm-hmm.
shares. So on most Facebook posts, I'm looking to get 10 pieces of engagement minimum. And a piece of engagement is exactly this: a like, you know, these emoticons are engagement,
Mm-hmm.
a comment, a share, right? And here's
Right.
the thing: these pieces of engagement are not worth the same number of points. What do you think is the most valuable share? Oops, I gave it away.
The
The
share
most valuable piece of engagement.
would be the share for sure.
Yeah, because whoever's sharing is now exposing this movie, this video, to everybody on their Facebook wall. Not everyone will see it, but you understand the general principle.
Right.
If they just comment, how many people are they exposing the video to? 0.
Right.
If they just like it, how many extra people are going to see it?
0.
None. That's why the share is the holy grail in social.
Should I ask them to share in my?
You can, but it gets old after a while. In
Okay.
fact, I had heard, and I don't know if it's true in the early days, because everybody was trying to get people to share, that if you actually use the word share, that the algorithm recognized it and then dumbed down your post. So
Interesting.
yeah, we don't want to have the same language every single time. Try it. See if it gets you a bump on occasion.
Okay.
But here's what we want people to do. So you do want people to like it at least. And then, of course, I can share it after we're done here.
Okay.
So that's the general idea. Now, I don't think you're going to be able to hear the volume. Oh, so this is sending them to YouTube. I think you mentioned that earlier.
Yes.
Okay, so here we are now, ladies and gentlemen. We're in the YouTube interface. And I assume this is a Hawaii promotion channel?
It is. It was shot at last week's district conference on district installation of our new governor.
Sorry, the video was, but what about the YouTube channel? What's the YouTube channel called?
It's called Aloha Convention Channel.
Okay.
And there's 18 videos. I
Okay.
emailed you the link if you want to. It's in your email if you need it.
I think I saw it. I'm just trying to keep the viewers caught up here.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're in a different interface, which means, ta-da, a new set of numbers. See, we're in YouTube here, everybody? So on YouTube, which is different than Facebook. Remember that Facebook had X number of views, but the YouTube channel is getting 29 views. Now, there's dispute about, you know, if you saw the movie in Facebook and there's a view there, it's too hard to go back right now. Are we looking at the same number of views or a different data set? In the end, it probably doesn't matter. We're just trying to get higher and higher numbers. 29 views on YouTube, but nobody's liked it. And it looks like I have to sign in before I do that. And guess what you have to have in order to sign in on YouTube?
An account?
A Gmail account.
Yeah.
Now, what are the odds everybody's going to get a Gmail account so that they can like it and share it? So what's probably going to happen on the YouTube channel is they'll just watch but not share. And that's good for you to know.
Mm-hmm.
Another problem, I am going to go back. Another problem on the, oh, darn it. I didn't want to go there. I wanted to go back to Facebook. Another problem is because when I click this, I go to YouTube. There it is there, YouTube. I'm leaving Facebook. And the Facebook algorithm will not show YouTube links very often. They've been on to me for years. And if I put a YouTube link, YouTube URL in my Facebook feed, it won't show it to anybody. I have 4,500 friends. No one will see it. Do you know why?
They're trying to limit the views on YouTube so they can stay at their own platform.
That's right. If I leave Facebook to go watch video on YouTube, I'll never come back. Mm-hmm. Facebook knows this. They have an obligation to their advertisers. They have an obligation to sustain their platform. So you got away with murder here. This is not, I don't see this very often, once in a while. But if you started a campaign and started posting YouTube URLs, you would automatically be flagged and then nobody would see your stuff. I'm so glad we're talking today. Mm-hmm. Now, there is a solution to this. You must natively upload the video to your Facebook page.
Okay.
Which I'm guessing you haven't done much of that.
No, not a lot.
Yeah. So this is my Facebook page. Okay. I'll just show you, I'll just point you in the right direction. I lied. I don't have 4,500 friends. I have 4,900.
Good thing I got in right under the line.
Yeah. But if you go to photos, it'll show you photo albums. Mm-hmm. And then if you scroll down, this is true on in any Facebook account, one of these albums is a video album, this one. And everything in this album are videos. These are videos that have been natively uploaded to my Facebook page. So when I share them, people can watch them on Facebook without leaving to go to YouTube. And Facebook loves it. Facebook will share these videos.
Nice.
All day and all night. Okay. Now, does it take extra time do I want you to stop loading up to YouTube? No. But when you, if you're planning to use Facebook as your main thrust, as your main modality, I would natively upload the videos to Facebook accounts.
Okay.
And I'm teaching you this and creating a recording on how to do it because the people that you want to push this out, Malcolm Gladwell calls them sneezers in his book, The Connector, the tipping point, calls them sneezers. The people you want to do sneezing might not know how to post the video to their Facebook page. So it's a little complicated, but good campaigns they're professional campaigns because they're not easy. Mm-hmm. I imagine you're already getting into deep water here. You're getting quiet.
No, I'm liking it. I learn more if I'm quiet.
Okay. So this was the next big lesson is if you're going to show video on Facebook, you must natively upload those videos to Facebook so that people can, they can actually be seen.
Okay.
So we're back to your page now. And by the way, in YouTube, it's a whole different level of optimizing. Mm-hmm. Like what you put in the title, what you put in the description, and there are a thing called tags that would drive traffic to the site, to that video.
Okay.
It's a much different formula than Facebook. I'm not going to get into that now. We'll do a YouTube session some other time.
Great.
Okay. So we're back to your Facebook page and the video. Here we go. Now this is on YouTube, everybody, with no sound. I'm just going to do a little color commentary while we're watching. I like the opening screen. Can you hear it? Can you hear it?
No, I cannot. Barely.
So you can hear it or not?
I cannot.
Okay, I'm not surprised. The audio quality is average. It sounds like you might have been in I see some reflective surfaces there, like a hardwood floor, paneling on the walls. The sound's bouncing around a bit. I can still understand it, but there you go. The length of the video looks like it's going to clock in at about 1:10, 1:20. All right, there's a little trick there. So you made it look like you were alone in the room. Clever. And this is called in the business a reveal. Hand left, there's 200 people in the room. So clever. And that's, we were talking earlier about getting away from staid, predictable, announcement type promos. So if every one of the videos has a little surprise, a little reveal like that, I would think you're going to be in pretty good shape.
Most of them do.
Okay. Now, the pros, including some people very near and dear to us, are going to think that our little campaign here is amateur, but it's going to help the cause. And I don't think we should shy away from it, although, you know, you're seeing professionals like Gary Vee and Robbins. I just saw one with Chris Rock. All of these guys that have access to professional crews, they're just using shaky iPhones. Not all the time, but some of the time. And I think it's that mix that has the honor and the nobility and it's a strange kind of nobility. It's like saying, I'm authentic, I'm real.
It's interesting you bring that up because in the first set of videos, they shot them some in black and white, some having some numbers rolling and that kind of thing. And I asked them to take that out and put them back in color and make them more normal. So I could add some of those others back and have a mix.
Well, there is a thing about being too slick. I think it's a real concern,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and I'm not being critical of anybody. I don't know what the exact mix is. I don't work at RI. I'm not a registered agent of Rotary International. I'm just a guy like you trying to do the right thing. But I do think that these promo campaigns that have blemishes can be very useful to us. This clocked in at 54 seconds. Now, a 54-second video can be shown on LinkedIn, although I'm not sure it has a place on LinkedIn without some sort of a professional patina. LinkedIn is for business people. Mm-hmm. If it was 20 seconds shorter, you could get it on Twitter.
Okay.
They all have different allowances, time allowances, and those have been shifted over time as well. But that's how you would get the same video onto the different platforms. A lot of times when I'm posting, I have a video that I can put on all 4 platforms, right?
Right.
Like a 40-second video that I can just put everywhere. But I like it, Tom. I think you're onto something here.
We do have some videos of different varying lengths. Some are shorter, some are longer.
Yeah, good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of other little strategies and tips I can throw your way in this call under this context, but I think I might have already filled your head up and perhaps the people that have been watching as well.
I also read somewhere where Tuesday at 10 o'clock is when most people are at their AM or at their computers. So we thought about that's the time for the distribution.
Yeah. Of course, if you know that secret formula, guess how many other people must know it? And now everybody's getting email at Tuesday at that time, and the reverse is true.
Right.
So
stagger them.
Plus, I mean, you're promoting. Think about how silly we get about rules, and we stop thinking sometimes when people tell us stuff. No, I'm just poking at you a little bit. You're promoting this event all over the world, and you're concerned about what time it is on Tuesday where you live.
Right.
You know, sometimes I'm pushing stuff out here in Eastern time zone. I'm in Michigan. And Renee says, "What are you doing? It's Sunday night." I said, "It's Saturday in Africa." Or Monday. It's Monday workday in Africa. I don't even know. I don't trouble myself with it. The pros do that. But I think that we can not be too sensitive about that and just start racking up the sales. When you're talking about something like 2 million views, it's probably not all going to happen on Tuesday afternoon.
Right.
That's my thinking.
Mm-hmm.
You're also going to see, because you're ambitious, because you have 18 versions of the video, you're going to start to figure out which ones are the best and which ones are not as effective.
Okay.
the smart money has you pulling the least effective. I mean, just use an easy number like 10% of 18. How many videos would you be obligated to pull from the mix if you were going to pull the weakest 10%?
We'd have plenty.
Well, I'm just saying, if you had 18 and you're
Yep.
going to pull the weakest 10% after a month, you would
Yep.
pull 2.
Right.
Now, amateurs would say, "Oh no, I can't pull Sandy's video. It was so cute." Right?
Right.
But Sandy's video is not pulling. The professional says, "Yank it,"
Right.
or replace it with 2 more videos that are stronger. And because we're about getting people to the conference. So these are some of the decisions that you make along the way.
Okay.
The call to action for the video is what? What would you like people to do as a result of the video? Be specific.
I would like people to register for the convention, get their friends to register for the conventions, and do it before December 15th.
That's pretty specific. You're leaving out a fairly major bit, which is, where do they go to register?
They should go to, there's different ways to do it, but what you taught me, Michael, would be to search Rotary 2020 convention, and that's the quickest way on Google to get there. There's actually, the videos actually in the beginning and end have the RI convention website, but it's pretty easy to find if you search it.
Yeah.
It's hard if you go to Rotary, My Rotary, and try to find it that way. It's a little bit more difficult.
There's so many features on some of these websites that it's hard to find. So I was with, little side story here, I was with a Rotarian. We were trying to register for something. It could have been Hamburg last year, the Hamburg convention. And so I say, it's easy. She's like a little older, not internet savvy. She wants to register for the convention. I'm like, I'm going to help her. So we go to the laptop, and we're at a meeting, Rotary meeting. And I say, well, so it's easy. I'm the guy, right? It's easy.
Right.
I go to rotary.org, and I'm like, damn it, where's the link? I can't find it. And she's looking at me, and then she starts to giggle. And then somebody came over and said, what are you doing? And she says, well, Michael's trying to help me register for the convention, but he seems confused. I'm like, now she's making me look bad in front of all my friends.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a fantastic website at rotary.org. But if you really wanted to find the registration link fast, Google is got a terrific search engine still. So you go to Google and type in Rotary Convention 2020, and the page comes right up.
Right.
And you get there in 4 seconds instead of 4 minutes. One of the problems with complicated CTAs, calls to action, is that they get distracted. Everybody's got ADD. Everybody. And if it's too hard to do something, they're gonna move off and not register. You need them to register now, and you make it idiot-proof.
It's a good point.
So, so not for you as much as the people on the call. When you're staging campaigns, everybody, you want to make it as easy as possible to register. Don't send them to a Rotary Club page. Same problem if you're using Club Runner, which we are, is there's just all this stuff to click on. You've got to find an easier way to let people give Rotary money. So make it simple. Tom, this is going to be a fantastic campaign. I'm pretty confident we're going to sell Hawaii out. You're going to sell Hawaii out, you and the committee. I appreciate you asking my opinion on this, and I'll be happy to help as much as I can. Do you have any other questions for me?
I think we are good.
Did you answer the question, how are you distributing the videos? How are you getting them out to folks?
That's one question I had that I thought you might be able to help. Right now, I'm able to post to our district page, my club page, and my personal page. I'm not able to post to the Zone 29 page, and that's why I wanted your help to see how we can get it through, especially Zone 29 and 25B, which is our pair zone pair.
So you have 2 problems. The first one is getting permission to post to all of these Facebook pages. That's the first problem. And the second problem is, if you weren't going to be the guy you have pretty broad shoulders, Tom, but you posting out to get 2 million views personally, you're going to have to quit your job. You're going to have to leave your family to get it done. So it's better for everybody to get the videos on their own, maybe, and post, at least a core group of people doing that. And then get everybody to share your video from your page.
Okay.
Again, the problem is with sharing. If somebody shares from a group, for example, to another group, if the people in this group don't belong to this group, they won't be able to see the video. So again,
Right.
it's back to the native uploading thing.
Mm-hmm.
And the other challenge is because Facebook has on the district pages, a lot of them don't have I call it opening up the garden hose. So the only person that can post to that district page that has 2,000 members is the admin. How are you ever going to post to that? It's a firewall you got to fix.
Yep.
And I will help you. I will post it on. See, I'm like a borderless. This get the word out page that I have is borderless, and there are
Great.
people from all over the world on it. And that was kind of the thing I was thinking about at the beginning is you don't have to belong to my district. You don't have to be in my zone. I'm just going to promote good Rotary causes. We're going to do it on this page called Get the Word Out Rotary. Might have to take the word Rotary off because the professionals will eventually request it. And then everybody can just get it from there. But it's still a group. And if they share it, it's not guaranteed that everybody's going to see it. Facebook is aware of this too. They don't want to make people unhappy, and this little thing has challenged people. So hang in there while we work it out.
Sounds great. Thank you for all your help.
Thank you, sir. You are going to be a Rotary governor one day. When is that?
That's going to be 1 year from 2 days ago.
This, ladies and gentlemen, is a future governor, and he's had some magnificent marketing ideas. Not always easily received by people, by the way. You get some no's along the way, don't you?
Yes,
Can't
you
do
do.
that. That won't work. We've tried that before. We've never tried that before. But together, we're going to figure this out.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. Thanks for all you do.
Okay. You too. Thank you, Michael.
Aloha.
Aloha.